No, you don't apologize because y'all, if you was really sorry, sir, if all it- and let me and I'm gonna let you know I do have this call being recorded because I am going to be putting this out on social media because you all continue to do these kind of things where it's the government and the banks against civilians, and it's like y'all don't do things to try to work with, like I said, I do the best I can to follow laws, but you're not finna inconvenience me and make me go through all them loops and holes. I asked the lady the other day, I said, do y'all have the money for me to be able to get it? That's the first thing. Do you have the money to be able to do you have the money to help me to go get the new driver's license and get the new social security card? That's my first question right there. No, it is a deal. It is. It is. It is. It is because that's what you asked me for. It is. And when I first called the lady, she said a marriage license was sufficient. So it is your deal because that's the document you're requesting. That is what you're requesting. And as a matter of fact, watch this. It wouldn't be no first service credit union had not the people be a part of this credit union. So you have to line up with what the people ask for. Hello. Let me cut you off right there. Let me cut you off right there, not to be rude, but you're gonna follow the law that's coming out of my mouth and the law that's written on this legal document of Israel. That's what y'all gonna follow because America is not a country to even. I am in agreement with obeying laws. I'm not talking about that. But Donald Trump and those people, they not following the laws. Period. Y'all running cons. Period. The banks is running the cons. There's all kind of scams and deceptions out there. And then y'all got stuff, warning zone, and all this other kind of stuff. Talking about beware of fraud and scam. Y'all not even. It's all kind of stuff taking place in America. Not on my behalf because I don't operate like that. I operate in integrity. But like I said, to be peaceable and to have a good resolution, I'm gonna keep saying this, and I ain't changing. I will not be getting a new driver's license, and I will not be getting a new social security card. And my name on my account is TrineshaSpaight. I'm not gonna keep going back and forth with y'all about that name change. I reported Sarah, and I also reported Bertha because of what y'all are doing. And this is why America is going to continue to collapse, and it ain't going to be no more banks. That's why people don't even trust banks and credit unions. Do you hear what I just said? Why don't you take what the customers and clients are saying, period, and go to the VP, go to the headquarters, and let them know what's going on for the truth to be made manifest. Because a lot of people have been talking about stuff like this with the banks, with the credit unions, and what changes are y'all making to help somebody other than yourself? Well, did the VP did she what did she do with the report with Sarah and Bertha? Did she do anything with them? Well, that's the problem right there because she didn't even follow. She didn't even obey the rule that came out of my mouth. What the word that was coming out of my mouth that should have been written down, set in stone, and that should have been something that she should have went forward and reported. So she's not even following the law, and you asking me to follow a law, and you're not even obeying the words that's coming out of my mouth. I requested. You don't talk while I'm talking. I requested for the certain people to be reported. And did she obey what came out of my mouth? No, she did not. So how are you trying to ask me? How are you trying to ask me to obey y'all laws? Y'all not even obeying what I asked y'all to do. Hello. No, you're gonna change the name, and I ain't changing it. So, like I said, I'm not gonna argue and go back and forth with you. You gotta line up with what I say because I said so. Said the spirit of the living God. And so, like I said, be ready to be destroyed because America's finna get ready to be destroyed, and it ain't gonna be no more, no banks credit because all that stuff is getting ready to collapse. We under a global reset anyway. And so, like I said, continue to do what you're doing in sin, and I hope you repent because what you're doing is wrong. You have to honor what people ask you to do, sir. I agree with being in obedience to the laws. I agree with obeying the laws of the land because that's what the Bible asks us to do. But it's not within my means to do it. You have to. Are you hearing the words that's coming out of my mouth? It does change. It does. You have to obey what I tell you to do. You have to obey what I tell you to do. It's not up to you, sir. It's not up to the VP. It's not up to the headquarters. It's up to what I ask you to do. And so you need to understand that. You need to understand that I'm not playing no sadistic sinister here game. You have to line up with what I ask you to do. The name on my account is TrineshaSpaight, and that's what it's going to be. And so that's the end of the discussion. I want you to tell the VP and the headquarters and go and tell everybody, all employees, go tell them that I said it. And y'all sending me an email talking about, don't send me no emails about no auto loans and nothing else with this bank account. If you want me to do something with this credit account, you need to pay me $1,000 check before you before you ask. Y'all send me something in the mail talking about some hospital stuff. You need to pay me $1,000 check first before you ask them to sign up for anything. Anything that you ask me to do, you need to pay me first. No, sir, we are not closing the account. I'm keeping my account open. It's gonna be open and it's gonna be in peace, and I'm gonna use that account for the little bit of things that I need. You're not gonna. I'm stable with my account, but I was calling to let you know my name is TrineshaSpaight, and that's what is gonna be on the account. And so you need to line up with what you're supposed to do, sir. You, Bertha, Sarah, VP, the headquarters, before y'all lose y'all jobs because America's collapsing, Babylon is collapsing, and you could be at high risk for losing your job. So I recommend that you obey what I ask you to do, sir, before you lose your job. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please put it in notes. Please, please. Trinesha, Trinesha, and then my last name is Spaight, Spaight. Yes, TrineshaSpaight. Spaight, Trinesha Spaight. That's my name. All right. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye bye.